Hello everybody, it's Daniel here, bringing you a Team Fortress 2 gameplay commentary. And it's good to be back. I apologise for the complete lack of things happening here over the course of January. You've probably noticed at this stage, but really, there's not been much happening. Like, I'm pretty much considering this my first new video of the year. It's been that drastic. For those who don't know from the last couple of videos, I have been working solidly on essays for college. I have them in place of exams, for the most part, and they determine half of my grade for the year. So they've kind of dominated my life the last while, because I've got to prioritize these things. Like, they're hugely important for the future. So I handed those in on the 18th of January. I was working solidly up until then. The week following that, I was pretty much dead, because I was so damn tired having just been constantly writing essays over Christmas. And in the week following that, I had to catch up on stuff I'd missed in college because I was just so damn tired the first week back I couldn't process anything that was happening. And now we're here, first week of February, back in the swing of things, back to doing things I like to do. And of course, what that means in TF2, I'm playing engineer again. I imagine there's some of you out there who are just so sick of seeing Nest and Engineer gameplays on this channel, because, let me tell you, there are an awful lot of them at this stage, but it's the one thing I like to do above anything else in this game. Like, it's in fact my favourite thing to do in this game. It's what got me into playing, so I'm gonna do it a lot. So I hope I can try and make it as entertaining as I can, because personally this is all like hugely exciting. Like, I love the sort of like management aspect that comes to Engineer. I've talked about this in so many videos in the past, but like, it really just is my favourite class. Like, I love how you actually just coordinate and bind teams together almost independent of how you play. But it also ties into what I want to talk about for this video, because this idea of like this being like this sort of like consistent thing I do whenever I return to TF2 after a bit of a break, it's really what I want to talk about, this idea of consistency when it comes to games, because there are some games that embrace this sort of like kind of random element to it, where it's like, you'll have basically sort of like a fun pack sort of game, where there's like a lot of interesting toys for you to mess around with, and you pretty much just like interact with them, and like you have like different things going on. Like, I'll give you an example of what I mean, just like sort of like a contemporary one, and some of you might be able to see it in relation to this. I've been playing quite a bit of Fallout 4 lately, and Fallout 4 I would say would fit this, just because the mechanics are very, very varied, and there's a lot of like different things that you can go about in the game. Like, if you want to do like kind of quests, you can have that option there. If you want to work on crafting, you have that option there. If you want to build your settlements a while, you have that there as well. And basically it is sort of like a grab bag sort of assortment of lots of these things. Like, you can explore, you can kill, you can grind reputation essentially with various factions. It has a lot of different things. If you compare it to something like TF2 in contrast, you have very consistent things. Like, you have sort of like grounded things you do. And yes, you can sort of like divide up the classes into that sort of like fun bag of sort of like various things. Like, an engineer, of course, plays very differently to something like a medic. But I feel like they relate a lot more into each other, and because of that, they're sort of grounded more as these consistent things. Because like, they're the sort of things that you will do for a much longer period of time. Like, to go back to the example for Fallout, all the things kind of like relate to each other. Like, if you do a lot of quests, you'll get a lot of crafting components to work on your guns and to build up your settlements. In TF2, you can just solidly play engineer for a while. You don't necessarily have to play other classes that much. Now, of course, there is like general balance has to be considered, but for the most part, if you assume that you have a generally balanced team, you can kind of just get away with whatever you feel like playing in the game. And because of that, you have a much more consistent role in regards to what you're doing. Like, you are just doing like the one action for a much longer period of time. And the example I'll have here is just nesting, because there are games where I've like nested for hours at a time. Like, I'm pretty sure like when I started playing TF2, there were summer days where I did nothing but nest. So what am I talking about in terms of consistency then? I'm talking about like this game. I'm talking about TF2 and how it is like sort of like has these consistent playstyles and these things that you do in it, and how that's sort of like a comforting thing in a way, because when you dive on into TF2 in this way, and like you know something is a very consistent way, a very set way that you play it, there's something very reassuring in that, because you have an idea of the experience that you're going to get out of it. For me, when it's nesting, like, I'm sort of like know what I'm signing up for. Like, I know I'm going to be like kind of coordinating my team a bit. I know I'm going to be building sentries and just having fun with that sort of like micromanagement aspects. There's something almost reassuring in that. Whereas if you go into like more of like sort of a grab bag game scenario, again, I'll just take Fallout 4 as the example, just because I've been playing it like, quite a bit lately. You're never really sure what's going to happen. Like, you have an idea of where things are going, but you do have that sort of like assortment, and you're not sure which element of the game you're going to spend more time doing. Whereas, again, TF2, you have a much more consistent idea of what's happening. Now, of course, there is, like, variety in that consistency. It sounds kind of ironic to say that, almost. But what I mean by that is you might be nesting as engineer, and then just different scenarios happen where you have to defend your nest. Like, there's Uber Demoman, or, say, an Uber Soldier. Like, variants like that. But for the most part, you're nesting as an engineer. You're whacking your sentry, you're building your dispenser, you're getting your teleporter out there, and you're trying to coordinate your team. And there's something very reassuring about that. And really just kind of thinking about how I'm like kind of getting back into this game after all of these essays and the amount of time I spent away from it, I've really kind of like missed some of like these consistent like kind of aspects. Like there's something like very homely about playing TF2. Like it feels like a natural thing to do. It's not always terribly exciting because just by token that I've done this for years. But there's just something very nice, and again, something very consistent about it that I've just always enjoyed with this game. And I guess that's the reason why I'm thinking about it now, is just because it has been a while since I've played, and now I'm just diving back into it. I sort of have that feeling again. And I don't think I've ever acknowledged it as openly as this. Like, I've talked about it in the past, how it's like, I love to nest as engineer, it's a thing that I've always done. But I don't think I've ever talked about why, like the particular reason why I love doing that. Because it is that consistent thing, it's that thing I've always done in this game. Again, like, when I started playing this game, like, nesting's pretty much all I did. Like, I would vary between engineer and spy almost exclusively. Like, I didn't even play, like, the other classes until I was about 4 months in, I believe, to the game. Which doesn't sound like a long time, really, but I was playing a lot of TF2 over that summer, so really it was quite a bit of my existence spent playing those classes. And there's just something reassuring about that. Like, I know the experience I'm getting out of it, but it's still enjoyable. And like something I've noticed as well, I don't have them actually in this video, but I find that contracts are just really nice in that way, because it just gives you like a nice little objective to do. And it sort of adds like sort of like grab bag variety to it, because you have sort of like a different task. Like that's something that varies it up in TF2. Whereas sometimes there'll be like days where I'll just get contracts where it's like I'm actually not even inclined to do them. Like I'll just kind of like feel like playing engineer or something like that. I'm just trying to say that there is something like almost reassuring in doing these consistent things. It's one of those things that I think is important to consider in any game that you spent this length of time playing, because I am close to 900 hours into TF2 now, which is an awful lot of time. Like if you convert that into like days of your life, I believe that is close to, well, that's definitely over a month. I think it's close to about 40 or 45 days. I'll have to do the particular maths on it. But that's still a lot of time of your life to spend solidly playing one game. So really you gotta ask yourself, it's like, why do you enjoy doing that one thing? Like surely there is like other more varied things. Like with that time I could have played, say 10 other games, even if you were assuming that they'd be longish games. Probably way more than 10. Like you could probably play close to 100 games actually, to be honest, with the time I spent in TF2. Like realistically you could. So I think it's like just important questions to ask, and like it's something to consider. It's like when you're diving back into the game, it's like, why do you enjoy doing this? And it's just something reassuring, almost like addressing that fact. And it's just something consistent about it that I've always enjoyed and I've always kind of come back to. Anyway, this has been a rather strange commentary, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I just wanted to talk for a couple of feelings that I've been having just diving back on into the game, and I do apologise for being away for so long. It is great to be back, because this is a hobby that I really, really enjoy, and I really miss when I'm bogged down at work. So over the next while, I'm planning to be a bit more consistent myself. In sort of an ironic twist, all the inconsistency through the month of January is now going to be balanced out with some reassuring consistency here on the channel. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you with a new video soon.